Seniors, stop making these 6 deadly mistakes immediately. Have you ever followed every doctor's order and still felt like something wasn't right? You eat your greens, you take your pills, you try your best, but inside, something whispers, "I'm not okay." The truth is, most seniors don't suffer because they didn't try. They suffer because no one told them what to watch for. The small, daily choices that quietly steal your strength, your clarity, and sometimes, your future. And here's the hardest part. These dangerous mistakes don't feel dangerous at all. They feel normal, familiar, even healthy. But what if I told you that something as simple as how you sleep, move, or even connect with others could mean the difference between decline and vitality? In this video, we're uncovering 6 hidden health traps most seniors fall into and how to break free from them with small, science-backed changes that truly make a difference. So stay with me. Because this might just be the most important 15 minutes you give yourself this year. And if you're ready to feel seen, stronger, and in control again, hit the like button and let's take this healing journey together. Let's start it with the first mistake. Trusting routine. Over listening to your body. You wake up, brush your teeth, take your pills, eat the same breakfast you've had for the last 10 years, maybe oatmeal, maybe toast, maybe coffee, 2 sugars, just like always. Routines bring comfort. They feel safe, familiar. But what if, after 60, 70, or 80, your body is changing faster than your habits? This is the first deadly mistake. Confusing routine with wellness. You see, the body over 60 becomes a moving target. Your digestion slows down, your nutrient absorption drops, your medications interact differently, and yet, we hold on to routines as if they're gospel. A study published by the Journal of Nutrition and Gerontology and Geriatrics found that up to 60% of adults over 65 are deficient in at least one essential nutrient, despite eating healthy. Why? Because the food choices that worked in your 40s may no longer meet your needs now. And it's not just about food. You may be taking supplements you don't need anymore. Or worse, missing ones you do. You may be walking every day but never stretching, leading to joint stiffness, or sleeping enough but never reaching deep, restorative sleep. One woman shared that she drank the same green tea every morning for 30 years, only to discover, at 68, that it was raising her blood pressure because of a medication interaction her doctor never mentioned. The danger isn't the tea, it's the blind loyalty to habits without asking, "Is this still working for me?" Here's the hard truth. Your body whispers before it screams. And if you're not listening, you'll miss the warning signs. That quiet fatigue could be magnesium loss, that occasional dizziness, maybe your medication needs adjusting, that stiffness in your hands. It could be early inflammation, not just getting older. The good news is, this mistake is completely reversible. Start by asking questions. How have I felt in the last 3 months? Have any routines stopped serving me? Is there something my body's been trying to tell me that I've ignored? Then, bring that awareness to your next doctor's appointment, track your meals, your energy, your sleep. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight, you just need to start checking in with you. Because when you stop assuming that same means safe, you start unlocking real healing. And speaking of assumptions, let's talk about one that's even more dangerous. The belief that loneliness is just an emotional struggle, not a health risk. Mistake number 2 is something most seniors hide until it's already taken too much. Number 2, believing loneliness is just sadness, not a health risk. In mistake number 1, we saw how blindly following routine can cause us to ignore what our body is really telling us. But here's another silent danger, one that doesn't show up on a blood test, yet quietly breaks us down from the inside: loneliness. Not the occasional solitude you choose, but the deep, aching kind, the feeling of being unseen, unneeded, or forgotten. And it's far more than just an emotional struggle. According to a landmark study published in the journal Perspectives on Psychological Science, chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death by up to 30%. Let that sink in. Being lonely is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's because prolonged isolation doesn't just affect your mood, it rewires your biology. When you feel socially disconnected, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone. Over time, elevated cortisol damages your blood vessels, increases inflammation, weakens your immune system, and raises your blood pressure. A 2020 review by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine found that more than 1/3 of adults over 45 feel lonely regularly. Among seniors over 65, that number rises to nearly 50%, and the health consequences are devastating. Higher rates of heart disease, faster cognitive decline, including Alzheimer's, greater risk of depression and suicide, slower recovery from illness or surgery. What's more heartbreaking is how invisible it often is. Loneliness doesn't always look like sadness. It can look like watching TV alone for hours, eating in silence, having no one to call when you're scared or sick. And once the cycle starts, it feeds on itself. You withdraw, you stop reaching out, and soon, even the idea of connection feels exhausting. But here's the truth: you were not made to live life alone. Humans are biologically wired for connection. Conversations, no matter how small, release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers stress and promotes healing. Even 15 minutes of meaningful interaction per day can reduce the risk of stroke, improve sleep, and boost immunity. One elderly man shared that he felt more alive in 10 minutes talking with his neighbor than in an entire week alone with his thoughts. You don't have to join a big group or become someone you're not. Sometimes, all it takes is one genuine connection. Start small. Call someone today. Invite a grandchild to help you cook. Sit outside where others walk by. Join a group, even virtually, where your voice matters. Remember, reaching out isn't weakness. It's wisdom. And healing doesn't always come in the form of medicine. Sometimes, it begins with a simple, "How have you been?" Because while loneliness can age you faster than time, connection has the power to reverse that aging. Now that we've talked about the emotional trap many seniors fall into, let's talk about something just as quiet, but far more physical. The sleep mistake that ages your brain and heart even while you rest. Mistake 3. Ignoring sleep debt and its real cost on brain and heart. Loneliness keeps you awake. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, your thoughts running like a broken record. Did I lock the door? Will the pain be worse tomorrow? Does anyone even notice I'm still here? It's not just sadness that keeps you up, it's stress, overthinking, and the natural changes that come with aging. But here's the dangerous part. Most seniors think poor sleep is normal. It's just part of getting older, they say. But what if it's not? What if those restless nights, those wake-ups, those hours of tossing and turning are actually slowly harming your brain, your heart, and your future? This is mistake number 3. Thinking sleep isn't urgent. According to the National Sleep Foundation, over 44% of seniors report frequent insomnia symptoms. But sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling tired. It damages your body from the inside, quietly, but deeply. A 2017 study published in Neurology revealed that adults in their 60s who got less than 6 hours of sleep per night had significantly higher levels of beta amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. Lack of sleep also raises blood pressure, disrupts insulin balance, and increases the risk of stroke and heart attack. In fact, chronic sleep debt increases the risk of cardiovascular events by up to 48%, according to the European Heart Journal. But even beyond statistics, let's talk about how it feels. Your memory isn't as sharp? You feel unsteady walking. Your mood swings easily. You start forgetting names, keys, even while you walked into a room. Sound familiar? That's not just aging, that's your body begging for rest. Not just any rest, but deep, restorative sleep. So why is it so hard to sleep well as we age? Because our circadian rhythms shift, our natural sleep-wake cycle becomes more fragile. Our melatonin levels drop. We may wake more often to use the bathroom, we may be in pain, and sometimes it's just loneliness. Again. But here's the hope. You can heal your sleep. Naturally. Start with these. Create a bedtime wind-down ritual. Dim the lights. Turn off screens. Play calming music. Go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on weekends. Avoid caffeine after noon and heavy meals at night. Magnesium or melatonin supplements, with your doctor's guidance, can help regulate sleep. Keep the bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. But more than anything, create emotional safety before sleep. Talk to someone, pray, journal. Let your heart feel settled before you close your eyes, because when your sleep is restored, everything changes. Your heart works better, your memory returns, your balance improves, and most of all, you wake up feeling like yourself again. Now that we've explored how sleep affects your brain and heart, let's address another trap many seniors fall into: over-supplementing without understanding what your body truly needs, because sometimes what we think is helping might be silently harming. Mistake 4. Over-supplementing without knowing your true deficiencies. You couldn't sleep, so you tried melatonin. Your joints ached, so you added calcium. Your memory slipped, so you reached for B12. And somewhere along the way, your kitchen cabinet began to look like a pharmacy. Sound familiar? After 60, many of us turn to supplements with hope for stronger bones, sharper minds, and a healthier heart. But here's the danger: more isn't always better. And taking the wrong supplements, or even the right ones in the wrong way, can quietly harm your body instead of healing it. Let's look at calcium. We've been told for decades, calcium shores strong bones. But what many seniors don't realize is that calcium, especially from high-dose supplements, doesn't always end up in your bones. Sometimes, it ends up in your arteries. A major study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that older adults who took excessive calcium supplements had a 20–30% increased risk of heart-related death. Why? Because unabsorbed calcium can build up in the arteries, leading to calcification, which stiffens blood vessels and increases blood pressure. The same goes for iron. Iron is essential for oxygen transport, but unlike many nutrients, the body cannot easily get rid of excess iron. And in older adults, especially men and postmenopausal women, iron needs actually drop. Too much iron can accumulate in the liver, heart, and pancreas, leading to hemochromatosis, which increases your risk of liver disease, diabetes, and heart failure. Vitamin B12? Essential, yes, but if your body isn't absorbing it due to low stomach acid or certain medications, like proton pump inhibitors, pills alone won't help. You may need injections or sublingual forms that bypass digestion entirely. Zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3s, the list goes on. Every nutrient plays a role, but when added blindly, they can interact with medications, compete for absorption, or overload your system. So, what should you do? Get tested. A simple blood test can reveal what you're truly deficient in. Talk to your doctor. Bring your full list of supplements to your next appointment. Many seniors never do. Prioritize food first. Whole foods provide nutrients in balanced forms your body recognizes and absorbs naturally. Take only what you need, in forms your body can use. And remember this: supplements are like tools. A hammer is useful, but not if the problem is a leaky pipe. Similarly, calcium helps bones, but not if your body lacks magnesium or vitamin K2 to guide it. You deserve a body that's nourished, not overloaded. A supplement should support you, not confuse your system. So if your energy hasn't improved, your sleep hasn't returned, or your digestion still feels off, maybe it's time to step back and ask not, "What more can I add?" but rather, What does my body truly need? And what should I let go? Because when you stop guessing and start understanding, healing begins. Now that we've addressed what you put into your body, let's talk about what you do with your body, and how the right kind of movement might be the very medicine your body's been waiting for. Let's come to mistake 5, believing exercise must be hard to be effective. After all we've discussed, nutrients, sleep, emotional balance, it's easy to assume that healing comes from the inside. But your body also speaks through motion. And many seniors, perhaps even you, make this quiet but costly mistake. They believe that exercise only works if it's intense. Maybe you used to jog every morning or lift weights in your younger days. Now, just walking to the mailbox feels like a chore, so you feel defeated. The problem isn't your willpower. It's the myth that no pain, no gain applies after 60. Let's be clear, you don't have to suffer to get stronger. In fact, pushing too hard can backfire, causing joint damage, exhaustion, or even cardiac stress. A 2013 study in the British Medical Journal found that moderate physical activity in adults over 60 reduced mortality by 30 to 40%. But those who exercised too strenuously, especially without recovery, showed no additional benefit, and in some cases, had higher injury rates. What does this mean? It means movement heals, but only when done wisely. When you move, you improve circulation, support joint lubrication, lower blood sugar, and release endorphins, your body's natural painkillers. But when you overdo it or avoid it entirely, you risk muscle wasting, sarcopenia, leading to falls, stiff joints, which accelerate arthritis, poor balance, increasing fracture risk, weakened heart function due to inactivity. The trick? Find the middle ground. Exercise that is consistent, gentle, and joyful. Start with brisk walking, even in short bursts. Chair yoga or tai chi for flexibility and balance. Water aerobics for low-impact joint movement. Light resistance bands for muscle tone. Stretching daily, especially in the morning. You don't need to run marathons. You need to send your body the signal, I'm still here, I still care. Even 15 minutes a day can make a dramatic difference. One senior shared that after just 10 days of walking and light stretching, her knee pain dropped by half, and her confidence in walking unaided returned. The real goal is not just to move, it's to feel safe in your own body again. So if you've been avoiding exercise because it feels too hard, too painful, or too late, please know this: it's never too late. Start where you are, with what you have, and honor the body that's carried you this far. And now that we've spoken about moving your body, let's talk about something even more internal: your second brain, the gut. Because mistake number 6 is the most often ignored, and yet it might be the root cause behind fatigue, mood swings, poor immunity, and even sleep disruption. So mistake number 6, underestimating gut health, the root of so much more. You've learned how your body needs movement, but what if your digestion, the part of you no one sees, was silently controlling more than you ever imagined? We often think of the gut as just a food tube. It takes in what we eat, digests, and gets rid of waste. But the truth is far deeper. Your gut is your second brain, and ignoring it is one of the most overlooked health mistakes seniors make. Inside your gut are over 100 trillion bacteria, some good, some harmful. Together, they form what scientists call the gut microbiome, which plays a vital role in immune system strength, mental clarity and mood, inflammation levels, blood sugar regulation, nutrient absorption, even your ability to sleep. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, up to 70% of the immune system resides in the gut. Another study from Nature Reviews Neuroscience confirmed that gut bacteria produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, the chemical that regulates mood, anxiety, and happiness. So when your gut is off, everything is off. You might feel chronically tired no matter how much you sleep, bloated or irregular after meals, more anxious or down than usual, Foggy-headed, forgetful, or less motivated? Prone to frequent colds or infections? What causes gut damage? Antibiotics, even from years ago, can wipe out good bacteria. Processed foods and sugars feed harmful microbes. Stress alters gut chemistry. Aging itself reduces digestive enzyme production and gut lining strength. The result? A weakened gut barrier, also known as leaky gut, which allows toxins to escape into the bloodstream, triggering widespread inflammation. But the solution isn't extreme. You don't need a trendy detox or a drastic diet. You need to nourish your gut gently, daily, and consistently. Start with fermented foods like yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir. Prebiotic fibers found in onions, garlic, oats, bananas to feed good bacteria. Minimizing sugar and ultra-processed foods. Probiotic supplements, if advised by your doctor. Reducing stress with breathing, prayer, journaling, or time in nature. One senior who suffered from fatigue and joint pain for years found that just 3 weeks of gut-friendly eating brought back her energy and mental sharpness without any new medication, because when the gut heals, everything else starts to respond. Remember, a troubled gut can look like memory loss. It can sound like joint pain. It can feel like sadness, or even fear. But often, it's not the mind or the bones that are broken. It's the gut, quietly crying for help. So now that we've traced the roots back to where healing begins, let's close this journey by looking ahead. How do we put it all together? Because it's not just about fixing 6 mistakes. It's about building one strong, sustainable, and hopeful life after 50. Seniors, it's not too late to begin again. So here we are. 6 quiet mistakes, each one common, each one preventable, and each one reversible when you decide to pay attention. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to chase perfection. You just need to begin with curiosity, with courage, with care. Ask your body questions. Feed it what it truly needs. Move it with kindness. Let it rest deeply. And most of all, connect with others, with yourself, with the life you still have to live. Because healing is not about being young again. It's about being present again, strong in spirit, clear in mind, rooted in hope. And if you're watching this video, it means something in you still believes that there's more ahead, that you're not done, and I believe that too. So thank you for choosing to learn, reflect, and grow. If even one part of this video made you feel seen or inspired, please leave a comment below. Let us know what spoke to you. Share your story, because your voice matters more than you know, and subscribe to stay connected. You're not alone in this. Your best years don't belong to the past. They belong to the version of you that's waking up now. Let's walk this journey forward, together.